In the heart of a small, quiet town lived a little girl named Aiko. Her world was painted in the bright colors of her father's laughter. He was a storyteller, a kite flyer, a man whose smile could chase away the grayest of clouds. But one day, the laughter stopped. A deep sadness settled over her father like a heavy winter coat, and his smile became a distant memory. The house, once filled with warmth and joy, grew silent and cold. Aiko missed the light in her father's eyes more than anything. Determined to bring it back, she remembered an old story her grandmother used to tell her, a legend that whispered of hope and magic. If a person folds 1,000 paper cranes, their heart's deepest wish will be granted. Aiko's wish was simple yet profound. She wanted to see her father's smile again, and so her quiet mission began. She found a stack of colorful paper, each sheet a promise of a new beginning. Her small fingers, at first clumsy and unsure, learned the delicate art of folding. Crease by crease, fold by fold, the first paper crane took flight in her hands. It was a little wobbly, a bit lopsided, but it was a start. It was a single drop of hope in an ocean of silence. She placed it carefully on her windowsill, where it could catch the first rays of morning sun. Day after day, Aiko folded. She folded before school, her hands moving swiftly under the lamp's soft glow. She folded after school, foregoing playtime with friends to sit at her small wooden desk. She folded late into the night until her eyes grew heavy and the cranes seemed to dance in her dreams. The pile of colorful birds grew steadily. Red cranes for love, blue for peace, yellow for happiness, green for healing. Each crane carried a silent prayer, a tiny piece of her unwavering hope. Her room began to transform. Strings of cranes hung from the ceiling, creating a vibrant canopy of paper wings. They dangled from her bookshelves, perched on her bedpost, and filled every empty corner. Her room became a sanctuary of hope, a testament to a daughter's love. Sometimes, her father would quietly stand at her doorway, his eyes gazing at the sea of color she had created. He wouldn't say a word, but Aiko could feel a flicker of something, a tiny spark in the emptiness. It was enough to keep her going. The seasons began to change. The vibrant greens of summer gave way to the golden hues of autumn, and then the stark whites of winter. Aiko kept folding. Her fingers were now nimble and quick, each movement precise and full of purpose. She folded cranes from old newspapers, from wrapping paper, from pages of her old notebooks. Every piece of paper held the potential for a new crane, a new piece of her wish. As she got closer to her goal, the task felt both easier and harder. The repetition was comforting, but the weight of her wish felt heavier with each fold. She was on crane number 900, then 950. The final stretch was in sight. She chose the most beautiful paper for the last few crane sheets of shimmering gold and silver she had been saving. They were special, just like the smile she longed to see. One evening, as a gentle snow fell outside her window, Aiko sat down to fold the 1,000th crane. Her heart pounded in her chest. She chose a brilliant, sun-yellow piece of paper. As she made the final, delicate fold, a sense of calm washed over her. It was done. 1,000 paper cranes, a kaleidoscope of hope, filled her room. She carefully strung the final crane with the others and carried a long, shimmering strand into the living room. Her father was sitting by the window, staring out at the snow-covered garden, his expression distant and lost. Aiko gently draped the string of cranes around his shoulders, a colorful garland of her love and effort. He looked down at the paper birds, his fingers tracing the delicate wings of a small, red crane. He then looked around the room, truly seeing, for the first time, the sheer volume of her creation. He saw the strings of cranes hanging from the doorway, the ceiling, the windows. He saw the countless hours, the unwavering dedication, the boundless love poured into each and every fold. Aiko watched him, her breath held tight in her chest. For a long moment, there was only silence, broken by the soft whisper of paper wings brushing against each other. Then, slowly, like the sun breaking through the clouds after a long storm, the corners of her father's mouth began to lift. A small, fragile smile appeared on his face. It wasn't the big, booming laugh she remembered. Not yet, but it was a start. It was real. Tears welled up in his eyes as he pulled her into a tight embrace. He held her close, surrounded by the 1,000 paper cranes she had folded just for him. "Thank you, Aiko," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "Thank you." In that moment, Aiko realized that the legend wasn't just about magic. The magic wasn't in the cranes themselves, but in the love that folded them. It was in the act of showing someone you care, of never giving up on them, even when they've given up on themselves. Her 1,000 cranes didn't magically erase her father's sadness, but they built a bridge back to him. They showed him that he was loved, that he wasn't alone in his darkness. From that day on, things slowly started to change. The healing was a long journey, not a single event. But now, they walked it together. They started talking more, taking walks in the park, and sometimes, Aiko would even hear the faint echo of his old laughter. The 1,000 paper cranes remained, hanging in their home as a constant reminder. A reminder that even in the quietest moments, love speaks the loudest, and that sometimes, all it takes to bring back a smile is 1,000 folded pieces of hope. Thank you so much for watching. If you were touched by Aiko's story, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more content that warms the heart. We'll see you in the next one.